clash of leather and willow, a familiar sound of summer throughout England. But have you ever given much thought into what is involved in making a cricket bat? Well, here at Kippax Willow Limited is where it all begins.
The willow sapling is already 4 to 5 years old when it is planted, and when the tree reaches 55 inches in circumference, which will take about 15 years, the tree is big enough to fell. Every January or February, Kippax Willow look to plant at least 100 willow trees in a good low-lying field with a good natural water source. They planted these 100 trees approximately 2 years ago, and they have to be pruned to stop the growth of unwanted branches. This will enable the trunks to be blemish-free. Back at the yard, the first job is to cut the thickest section of the trunk into 30-inch lengths. The next stage is to mark out the butt into different segments. From the centre of the tree, you've got to follow the natural split. Then it's marked out on a good little finger to thumb, which is basically 2 bats per section. Therefore you can see that 10 bats will come out of that section. Each length is then split into clefts, which will form the blade of the bat. After the cleft has been planed, it is cut to length, and both ends are waxed to prevent splitting. The clefts are then stacked outside for air drying. Now the cleft is planed to create the playing surface of the blade and is machined to give a width of about 5 inches. The back of the cleft is wet before going into the pressing machine. This gives shape to the blade. It goes through the machine at different pressures until the required shape is achieved. This is a vital part of the process. The ram machine creates the shape of the cleft. Planing takes place as the cleft reaches the back of the machine. The cleft is then turned and goes through the machine again to complete the process. Here we have a cleft before shaping, and here we have a cleft that's pressed and pre-shaped after being cut on the ram. Work now begins on the handle. It is machine turned to create exactly the right size and shape. A V-shape is cut at the bottom of the handle. And also in the top of the blade. The handle and blade are then fixed together with a powerful adhesive. They must fit together accurately to ensure the bat will be strong. The bats are then clamped and left overnight. Shaping of the shoulders is the next procedure. The bottom of the blade is then shaped. The final shaping of the blade of the bat is done by hand, using a draw knife and spoke shave. It is the skill of the craftsman that determines the quality of the finished product. Careful sanding and polishing on various machines creates a smooth finish. The handle is glued and bound with twine. The blade is waxed, ready for the last stages of the process. Careful placing of the labels is important. Fitting the rubber grip on the handle is the final stage. That's another bat ready for display.
So the next time you're watching a cricket match, remember the craftsmanship that has gone into the creation of the willow blade at the centre of the traditional game of cricket.